I asked AI to write a Terraform module for an AWS S3 bucket, and not only did it work, I reused it to spin up a second bucket with just 3 lines of code. No Helm, no Kubernetes, just clean reusable Terraform powered by Mistral GPT. In this video, I'll show you how I generated a reusable Terraform module using AI, deployed one bucket, then reused the same module to create another. You'll see the prompt I used, how to test it with Terraform, and the production pitfalls to watch out for. Let's jump into the Mistral AI chat. Here I'm going to write this. Write a reusable Terraform module to create an AWS S3 bucket with versioning enabled, tags and input variables for bucket, name and region. Use best practices and separate versioning as a dedicated resource. Press enter. It gave me a clean module with variables, outputs, versioning as a separate resource and everything structured properly. But let me be clear, this only works well if you already know Terraform. AI can't read your mind and it won't fix misconfigured infrastructure. You still need to understand modules, providers and how AWS expects things to be set up. Let's jump into our Visual Studio Code. Here I have main.tf file which defines S3 bucket and versioning. Variables.tf defines inputs like bucket name, tags and region. And we have output.tf exposes the bucket name and on. It even used best practices like separating versioning into its own resource instead of mixing it into the bucket block. Let's go to our root main.tf file. Here I have the module setup, which is like using our existing S3 bucket module. Name is like GPT demo bucket. Region is like US East 1. Tags environment project name. That's all you need to create a live S3 bucket with tags and versioning. Now here is the cool part. I reuse the same module to spin up a second bucket. First bucket is like app bucket and the second bucket is like logs bucket. Just name change and project name change. That's it. No extra logic needed. This is what makes Terraform module so powerful. You write it once and it scales effortlessly. Now let's jump into our terminal and run some real commands. For this, I am going to first initialize Terraform init. Once the initialization is like successful, we are going to run Terraform plan. Terraform got initialized successfully. Now let's run Terraform plan and see the output. It should create 4 different resources for us, 2 buckets and 2 versionings. US East 1, press enter. If we look at the plan, it is trying to add 4 resources. Let's scroll up a bit and see what it is trying to add. Actually, it is starting from here, Terraform plan. Terraform will create this bucket. AWS S3 bucket will be created. Here it is like trying to version this bucket, followed by second bucket, logs bucket. Okay, and the versioning of that particular logs bucket. Also, I would like to mention few stuff here. One is like server side configuration. Second is like logging, lifecycle. These are like not being set by our module. So this is not production ready yet. I'm going to explain in just in a minute. I am updating the bucket name here, Mistral demo bucket, because the previous name was already existing. So now I'm going to run Terraform apply once again. Press enter. So it will try to create 4 resources for us. US East 1, enter. Then we are going to say yes. Say yes. It will try to deploy 4 resources for us. Apply completed successfully. As you can see, 4 resources were added. I'm going to clear the screen. Now let's try to list our resources. AWS S3 space ls. Mistral demo bucket, GPT logs bucket are live in AWS S3. 1 module, 2 buckets, minimal effort. But this is not production ready yet. Let's try to destroy resources so that we are not going to pay any money. Terraform destroy is the command to destroy all the resources which we created just now. But this is not production ready, not yet. AI doesn't automatically secure your resources. Here's what missing and you must add it manually. Server-side encryption, lifecycle rules, bucket policy, logging, force destroy, IAM access management. These stuff is like missing for production ready. According to your company policies, you are going to update this or add this. This is just one way GPT or Mistral can supercharge your DevOps workflow, but only if you combine with the real cloud knowledge. Like this video, subscribe for more real world AI plus DevOps experiments. No hype, just results. See you in the next one.